I think one of the great opportunities for coming to work with the team at Willoway is the chance to get to work with some of this technology is kind of cool. There's also a dedicated staff here that really wants to produce the best product in the industry. That is our major goal. We always are pushing the boundaries. We're always trying new things. We're not just going off of what we did in the past. We always want to make it better. And I think that's the company that you want to work for, because those are the companies that are going to be around for the long haul.
So with so much technology at the greenhouse, it's essential to have one central system that controls all the automation. So we have an Argus control system for our environment and water, heat, cooling, curtain operations. So all the set points are put into programs on the computer, and everything is operated through set points and parameters, and then everything has to be programmed appropriate so it all works in sync. We don't want to be having the vents open when we're heating and things like that, so you have to be very careful on the set points that you do put in, so you actually are running efficiently. And the use of the Argus control system does allow you to run things very efficiently because you can program it so precisely. The other nice thing about it is that we can monitor this through any PC, laptop, on-site, off-site if we have an internet connection, through an iPad and an iPhone. So everything's also hooked into alarms. So if some mechanical failure happens that might make the greenhouse too cold or too hot, parameters are also set for alarms, so those dial out, and then it alerts us to an issue at the greenhouse. So we can, if we are off-site, we can look in through any computer program available at the time and see what the problem is, and try to assess if we need to come in and fix a mechanical failure, or maybe it's a programming issue, and then take care of things on the spot, or it might dictate that we actually come to the facility to take care of the problem.
So one of the challenges of a large container operation is having a good water source and making sure that you have enough water to get you throughout the season. The reservoir behind us we built back in the late 80s. Holds approximately 30 million gallons. On this 95 acre facility, we hold about 60 million gallons of water. So in the reclamation of water, when we put our sections in, what we try and do is pitch all the water to a central point, to either the ditches or our drain tile. We put the water into a retention pond, which is what the smaller reservoir is in front of us, and we pump it into one of the other bigger reservoirs that we actually do the irrigation out of. This piece back here is approximately 30 acres. We like reclaiming all our water. The only source of water we have is a creek. We do not have well water, so it's very important to us to capture all the water that we put on the irrigation cycles and keep our ponds as full as possible throughout the course of the season.
So we've been always cognizant of water collection and water runoff, and since the early days of the nursery, we've always collected 98% of our water that runs comes from our beds and put it back in our watering system. In the last 7 or 8 years, we've been working on water recycling and management of that water and nutrient management. So now we're to the point where we can take, and we know what our nutrient level is going out each day when we irrigate, and we only supplement the nutrients that we need to make sure that we have a balanced amount of fertilizer going on the plants. If we're high in nitrogen, we cut our nitrogen levels back. If we're low in nitrogen, we can add it. With the big concern with phosphorus in Lake Erie, we're really managing phosphorus levels down to low parts per million. And if we don't need to add phosphorus to our mix or to our water, we don't put it in. But plants do need a right amount of phosphorus to be able to function correctly.
What we can do is we can inject every single element individually. We filter the water, we test the water, we add copper to the system for disease. So we're fully treating the water just almost like a municipality would do for drinking water. So we have a lot of high tech at our disposal here. Up here at Huron, we'll use in one night almost 3.5 million gallons of water. We will reclaim a lot of that. We have what's called almost 100% recovery. So we bring that water back in, we put more nutrients back in it, send it back out in the nursery. So water management is a big part of what a grower does throughout the year. It takes most of a grower's time to handle the water, and a grower gets to work with a lot of the latest equipment, a lot of high tech, a lot of programmable machines and computer programs to make sure that we're getting the right product out there.
So our fertilizer injection allows us to keep an even fertilization throughout the growing period. With top dress, you get a quick release when you drop it, and then it starts petering down as the season goes on. So we could supplement that with the injections into the water. That allows it to have a consistent feed all the way across the growth of the plant.
So we've been working with USDA research on spray technology with the development of a smart sprayer for the industry. This sprayer scans the tree as it goes by, and it can go up to 5 miles an hour, and it only turns on the nozzles necessary to spray that tree. This reduces overall pesticide usage, but more importantly, spray drift, which is a big concern in the environment.
Standing in front of the Hearst biomass boiler, 500 horse, 21 million BTU boiler. How the biomass boiler works is we buy a wood product from tree trimmers, paper mills. It's all wood chip. They bring it here, we dump it on our fuel floor. Our fuel floor will shift back and forth. It'll drop on a vibrating conveyor, travel up, drop through some grates, and go up our large incline conveyor, then fall down into our metering bin. This is all coming from outside, so it's coming in cold and wet at a low temp. So when it hits the metering bin, it then enters these two tube ports that takes it into the furnace box. The furnace box is 1700 degrees. So as soon as it enters that furnace box, it immediately dries the fuel and ignites it. With about, I'm going to guess, 1,100 yards of fuel, we end up with about 2 yards of waste.
Willoway is not boring at all. We have lots of things going on all the time. We're always engaged. We are not just an open farm here. We have tons of different products, tons of different technology. We're definitely up to speed with upcoming trends and things going on in the industry.